I think it's time for us to build the sysport to store the sustainers. But first, here's a jingle. Like all good projects, we start off with the design, and in our design I want to store 20 sustainers to allow for my tool collection, and also have some space at the end, open shelves, for storing other bits and bobs like glues, polishes, varnishes, etc. The overall dimensions, it's going to be about 400mm deep, just over a metre high and about 2.3 metres long. So the design done, we head back to the workshop and we start the assembly. We start by cutting the base panel to length. We're using 18mm pine that's 400mm wide and comes in about 2.5 metre lengths. Once it's cut to size, I use some shims and a spirit level to make sure that the base is level inside the workshop. With the base level, I then turn my attention to the side panels, cutting out 6 panels about 1024mm long using the same material. In order to guarantee the spacing, I build a dummy drawer using some scrap material, a sustainer, and the side runners that are going to support the final drawers. I then use a drawer to lay out the positions for some dominoes that will keep the panels aligned and in place. I then cut corresponding dominoes in the end of the panels, allowing me to do a dry assembly. Simples! With everything looking good, I now turn my attention to putting the mounting holes in the side panels that are going to hold the drawers in place, and for this I use the LR32 system, first of all drilling the front holes and then drilling the back holes. Although I'm using dominoes and glue to hold the panels into place, I'm also going to use pocket hole joinery. The pocket hole screws will allow me to assemble the cabinet while the glue is wet and allow it to dry without the need for clamping. I am putting pocket hole screws in the base, the top and the back of each panel. I then use a dummy drawer that we made to make sure that the spacing at the top is the same as the spacing at the bottom, and then use pocket hole screws to actually secure the panels into the final position. The top is made from the same 18mm ply, 400mm wide. We will be setting this forward to give a slight overhang. I cut the panel to length and then dry fit it to make sure all looks okay. To give me a decorative feature, I decide to route a bull nose onto the top. I connect together a couple of long festool rails to give me a super rail, and then use the OF 1400 to cut the profile onto the top. And now I can fix the top into place, using a set square to ensure I've got a 5mm overhang, again a decorative feature, and then using pocket hole screws to secure the top firmly into place. I then give the sysport a coat of Osmo Polyx hard wax oil. This is neutral sheen finish. I allow 24 hours between coats and work in a well ventilated area. I really like this product, it gives it a nice texture, a nice feel, and really starts to give a nice antique look to the pine. With the main carcass now complete, I turn my attention back to the drawers. Using the Festool TS55 and the Festool parallel guides, I can now cross-cut each of the fronts and all the sides for the drawer assemblies. It's then over to the router table to cut the 5mm deep channel that's going to take the 12mm plywood that will form the base of our drawers. With all the channels routed, I then head over to the Capex saw, and here I'm cutting everything down to its final length and ensuring that all ends are square to aid in the final drawer assembly. And now we're ready for the final assembly. I'm using glue to hold the panel into place, but I'm also using pocket hole screws to hold the sides to the front. That's to allow the glue to dry and also to give a bit of extra strength. And I'm also using tacks to hold the sides to the base panel, again giving the glue a chance to dry. And with that done, the drawers are ready. So with everything done, it's now simply a matter of putting all the drawers into position and checking them for fit. We've finished. The sysport is finally complete and it's worked out really well. I have changed a couple of things as I was putting the drawers in place. First thing is I've changed the layout or the positions of the drawers, and I've done that to fit in with the workflow that's beginning to develop inside the workshop. So this stack here is all the stuff that's associated with routers and the CMS table accessories. This stack on this side here is all the things that are associated with the MFT table, so the clamps, the marking gear, and so on and so forth. This here tends to be my powerhouse, so you know, my sanders, jigsaws, drills, so on and so forth. And then this here tends to be my fixing kit, my dominoes and so on and so forth. I also incorporated my 2 toolboxes, so my closed toolbox here and then my open toolbox down here at this side, and that gives them a permanent home and a place to live, and that's allowed me to claim back all this space at the end here. And I'm still thinking what I do with that. I think I'll probably turn it into a couple of cupboards, and that will allow me to store the chemicals safely out of the way that we have inside the workshop. It's worked really, really well. It was quite a nice build, it's enjoyable. It got us used to some of the Festool tool systems, and that's going to improve my workflow no end. Everything organised, everything got its place now, and I'm really, really happy. I hope you found this useful. Leave a comment, and we've got loads more projects coming up. I've still got to do the bookcase at the top, I've got to finish off the walls, we've got to build some outside storage, we've got to work out on the wood storage room, so there's loads to come on the channel. So please subscribe, leave a like. Any questions, comments, feedback, put it in the comments below. Look forward to that. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.